Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask you guys to hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, we're going to be addressing XRP's crucial level that it did lose today. We did see the Bitcoin candle close for the weekly, and it was not good. I'm going to be watching the dollar and indices today closely, more close than I am watching, any sort of altcoin position. In fact, even on XRP, I'm not looking to add anything right around this range, and I'm actually going to be talking about why. I'm also going to be talking about how low XRP could actually go. On the 24-hour span, we're still seeing some altcoins up a little bit. XDC has been kind of holding up the portfolio, if you will. Same with Algo. I took that Algorand position at around like 58 cents. That was pretty significant in terms of the 7-day percentage gain. It was about like 22%, as we do see here. But yeah, for the most part, the market looks pretty rough, and we're going to be addressing that, talking about it. But first, let's talk about Bitcoin. So I know that this is an XRP video, guys. You don't have to scold me, but right now you should be focusing on Bitcoin as well. Do not get masked or like blinded by, other things right now around this market where everyone is telling you guys overnight it's going to, $100 on XRP, etc. Guys, pay attention to things that are actually happening right now around this market, which is Bitcoin coming down to test the January low. We lost the higher low at about roughly, 34.4K. That told me to kind of de-risk a little bit. But there is some great positions right now to take in this market. I've addressed those and I've been talking about them, specifically where I am going to be buying them, like Link at around like $8 to $9. That's what I'm eyeing right now. But as we do see Bitcoin come down to test this low, if we do lose this, it's the last sign of hope until we do see possibly a test of like 28K, almost 29K, to roughly some of the lows that we've seen going back to the summertime, like at around like 30K exact. So I'm watching these bids down here to see if they are going to get, targeted. I know the 200 EMA is at around like almost 27K exact. That is also a significant level to watch for. I'm definitely watching Bitcoin closely today as we do see the impulses around like the S&P 500 and also even the Dow Jones. We're going to be seeing, what could happen around that. Now, I do think that when we are talking about the, significance around what Luna just announced, so let's actually jump over to that real quick. So shout out to Altcoin Psycho here, but we do see here, this is essentially a self-loan to an over-the-counter firm. Basically reads sell $750 million of Bitcoin soon, then buy back $1.5 billion worth when the price is attractive. Yeah, we definitely going lower. Laugh out loud. And if you guys did miss it, here we have from, again, the Luna Foundation Guard basically just voted to deploy $1.5 billion in capital, $0.75 billion in Bitcoin, $0.75 billion in UST to allay market concerns around UST. Some more context on why and how. Now, of course, they did break this down. You guys can go read all about it. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but we do see here, so too, 750 million Bitcoin will be sold at market to support the peg as needed. We do see here, it may, if UST contracts from here, or LFG, we'll buy more Bitcoin if UST expands from here, which we think is the more likely outcome. Either way, this action is clearly mandated for LFG. So honestly, when we talk about this, first off, there's been a lot of concerns around if this is even decentralized anymore, because a lot of people have been questioning that as well. If you guys do read all about this, we do see here, how is this decentralized if it needs the intervention of a small group of people who decide, or maybe I'm just getting it wrong. You're right, market tanked before systems were ready, so this would be intervention. So in my opinion, this kind of goes against everything that Luna's really kind of been standing for. I just think that this is, kind of weird. Is this going to tank the market? It could, but, they are saying, hey, we might buy, but we already, heard promises like that in the past. Honestly, I don't believe that this is going to be the more likely outcome. If anything, they're going to sell, Bitcoin. So I'm watching this closely to see what happens here, because this is actually pretty interesting. And again, that's exactly why I'm focused on, other things around this market, specifically things that are going to drive the prices down. On XRP, so talking about that 200 EMA on XRP, I've been addressing this ever since, my last couple of videos, like going back, a week or two ago, where I was talking about the 200 EMA and how we have been kind of holding that fairly strong. Even, 2 weekly candles ago on April 25th, we bounced off of this pretty significantly. So I was just like, this is actually looking pretty good to hold here. Again, Bitcoin is the one to watch to see if it's going to continue to push us down, but we did lose this structure today. So it's either, we have an impulse back above, the fib level, which is at currently, 60 cents, 0.5. It's either we break above this right now or we continue the downside here. And if that downside does continue, there's not a lot, that we can come down to in terms of support, right? We can come down to a significant demand zone, which that demand zone is at around like 42 cents, which goes back to like around the February timeframe. It's between like 42 cents to roughly, 50 cents. So I'm watching this level closely, and I could actually kind of show this on the chart real quick. I could highlight it just for you guys. So it's like this area here that we would basically be looking to buy in if this continues to have this downtrend momentum, which it looks like we are going to most likely see those levels tested if Bitcoin does have that sell-off from the Luna news, and it's going to be something pretty interesting to watch for. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about some other things around XRP. I just figured I would give you guys that quick update that we did lose the support structure that I was hoping for us to kind of hold. Ended up not holding, so, downside is not limited from here. But we did see an announcement from SBI today. Of course, I did translate this, and we do see notice of start of crypto asset settlement support on cross-border EC site SBI Motor Japan. Japan's first XRP payment support on cross-border EC site SBI Africa. This is pretty significant. So I've read this, and I was talking about where we are on settlement with cross-border payments just yesterday in my XRP video. Now, we do see here notice of start of crypto asset payment support on cross-border EC site SBI Motor Japan, Japan's first XRP payment support on cross-border EC site. We are pleased to announce that our company has started to support crypto asset settlement on the cross-border EC site. There are two types of payment compatible currencies that will start handling this time, Bitcoin and XRP. This is the first time in Japan that XRP is supported on a cross-border EC site. Our EC site provides information on used automobiles to emerging countries around the world, such as Tanzania, Kenya, Zambia, and which are major export destinations, African countries, Ireland, Cayman Islands, Bahamas, and Caribbean countries. We are exporting about 5,000 units a year. So this is pretty significant. I mean, it's nothing like too crazy. I mean, it is still something pretty significant. This is in regards to, I think that there was an announcement around this earlier this year that we kind of reported on because it was around, again, those automobiles that were getting basically bought on SBI Motors website. So I think that this is pretty interesting. I also think that this does provide a lot of, again, low-cost fee cross-border payments around something like this. And of course, you guys can go check out the website over here at sbimotor.com. I mean, they are doing about 5,000 units a year, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not going to provide so much value to XRP, but it also does show you guys that XRP is going to be utilized as, a settlement token in terms of payments, and so could Bitcoin as well from this article. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But also, this is what I really want to talk to you guys about. So between XRP and IOTA, so these two are, of course, ISO 222 tokens. But we do see here in Beyond Market, Del Rayo stated, Ripple is planning to bring distributed ledgers to India for exporter remittance. Nice article mentions Earthport separately April 2022. And shout out to Wrath Economy here, but Ripple is planning to bring distributed ledgers to India for cross-border remittances. Now, this actually was, pretty interesting when I seen it, because as I was kind of looking through and doing some research on distributed ledgers, specifically the ISO 222 tokens, I found this. So this is from IOTA.org. This is their EBSI Building a Distributed Ledger Technology for Europe article. I thought that this was pretty cool because, again, IOTA is an ISO 222 token, and a lot of people actually don't talk about IOTA. In fact, I actually want to show you guys real quick. I know not to get off of, not to go off the rails a little bit here, but IOTA has a $1.2 billion market cap. It is sitting at about 44 cents. And it's in a downtrend right now off of its highs just recently in 2021, which was sitting at about roughly $2.50. The upside from this thing is actually pretty significant when you go back to even 2017, 2018. Same structure as XRP, except this hit about $5.40. I would definitely look into IOTA if you guys haven't already and do some research on it, because I do believe that IOTA is also a very significant ISO 2022 token. But we also do see here EBSI building a distributed ledger technology for Europe. The IOTA Foundation is one of 7 contractors selected to design innovative DLT solutions for more demanding pan-European blockchain services. Again, as I said multiple times around things happening within the digitization of the future of finance, I do believe that DLT solutions are going to basically be the #1 choice for a lot of financial services. Now, this does go back to September 2021. Like I've said, this is where I want to put a focus on a lot of things because I seen this today and it really kind of made me think about this. And when we talked about, DLTs kind of moving forward in my quant video where I was talking about, how quant's overledger is going to facilitate the interconnection between DLTs and the legacy systems, this is basically what I want to focus on. This aims to design new DLT solutions to improve the scalability, energy efficiency, and security of EBSI, a network of blockchain nodes across Europe. If selected for the next phase, IOTA could be one of the technologies that will be developed and tested with core European services. This is not a 100% confirmation that IOTA will be chosen, but I do think that this is going to be something pretty cool to focus on because if IOTA is chosen for this, or even say for so Ripple, whatever the case may be, it is going to be something pretty significant to watch for. And when we talk about things happening around this space specifically, we kind of look at legal tenders, right? The whole Bitcoin legal tender move was the thing that really kind of sparked the major debate. But ultimately, as we do see a massive, demand around, again, digitization of the future of finance, if you will, I really do think that these DLT infrastructures are going to be something that's really interesting, to really watch be built. I think that it's really going to start with regulations being implemented. I think that that's coming in most likely this year. Again, we have to watch for things to actually be updated around that area. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of things around regulations, but ultimately, I think that they are holding back a lot of developmental updates, if you will, specifically acceptance of DLTs and really kind of testing of DLTs in an actual real world use case. But we have been definitely seeing a lot of movement around development with DLTs and, this technology, specifically even with cross-border payments. As we do look at even Ripple, I mean, Ripple has been absolutely killing the game in terms of cross-border payments. And I've always said that when we look at things even in regards to like the Digital Pound Foundation, for example, right? So I shared with you guys just recently the Digital Pound Foundation with Quant. Yes, although this is just a group of, basically crypto and fintech companies that are coming together to try to build the future of finance, specifically around, CBDCs within the UK, but also even the digital euro as well. There's a digital euro foundation. These are groups that are working on possibly having a concept that could be accepted and utilized. I think that the efficiencies around a lot of these technologies, specifically, even networks, right? Because these are payment networks that are being built. We are seeing a major shift. That shift is from the government standpoint as well. I've been noticing we've been seeing a lot more talks around regulations and, of course, efficiencies within crypto, more so like settlement, a lot cheaper fees. The speed at which you could transact in terms of payments has been something to really pay attention to, but also, of course, sustainability as well. I think that watching a lot of these webinars is key to understand exactly what is happening. We are seeing, a clear vision ahead in terms of not only, financial inclusion, this is basically going to be talking about financial inclusion in general. You could open these and really kind of see what the gist is around a lot of these webinars. Like, for example, if I read this, it is all around the world, governments are exploring the introduction of CBDCs, including the Bank of England examining the case for, introducing a digital pound in the UK. A number of perceived benefits of having a digital currency have been proposed, with a key element being the ability to facilitate greater financial inclusion. And then you could really kind of see exactly what they are talking about in terms of this by, access, cost, or efficiency, sorry. And you can see the speakers that are going to be speaking here. Are these major companies that are being a part of this? Not exactly in terms of the names that everyone would know, but it's still names that should be, spotlighted. Like, for example, like even Electroneum. I've been talking to you guys about Electroneum here and there to say, like, do not overlook Electroneum. Same with like IOTA, because these are key players as well. I've always said, like, with a lot of these layer ones, like even, XRP Ledger, right? XRP with the XRP Ledger is something pretty cool to watch for in terms of CBDC issuance. I always say, pay attention to all layer ones. Don't just get fixated on just one specific asset. Like even XRP, like don't be blinded by the idea that you only need to hold XRP. I think XRP is going to be a great long-term play. I think short-term, yeah, sure, we could see some gains, but I'm just trying to say, like, when we look at something like this in terms of the digital frontier for payments, it's going to take some time to get built out fully, but you could definitely see that it's happening. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.